afternoon, we're keeping our focus on the wide-ranging reforms being introduced at the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority. It is aimed, of course, at improving license acquisition and other vehicle documentation processes and ultimately improve safety on the road. One of them is the introduction of smart tow chart to every vehicle owner. That attracted, like I indicated earlier, controversy, has now been suspended pending further consultation. That was greeted with some great joy by drivers.
That's breakdown vehicles, at least you have police patrol cars. So if patrol cars are just on the way, they can see this car has breakdown somewhere. So they don't have to call. You see, they have to call their towing cars to come and tow it. Because I'm here, I'm working from here to La Paz or from here to Amasamai. And if there's a big truck on the way, I'm a driver. I'm looking for passengers, so I have to pass by. But it's duty for the police, you see, to call, because they have everything in their car, to call other police station or any nearby station that there's a breakdown car. If they didn't come and tow it, it will bring accident. That's the work of police, but for you drivers there, we can't do anything about it.
And I'm a car and one cars and endorse one. You beat me a service. Look at the majority of cars at Ghana. The BBC says you be young towing car. The cars in the grass are sent a great way. How you tow can yes and the Kwakusi. Now who to how the Kwakusi in farm? What do you come a shop and answer ye coin? And get ye, Nemo ye miss as a young bois. Can I even hear the echo? Send ye be a found. Oh, a young puna who to negas what you couldn't pan the shop and can see me anyhow. Now who told no to Kwakusi? Now yard in you be. Assassins at Dahi. The announcer idea at Chinamarine people.
That's why we use reflectors on the car. Every car have, I think we have about 2 or 3 reflectors. One on the side of the car, and we have triangular reflectors. You see? So that's what I mean for towing this and towing helpers. Because I personally, I have my workshop. And if you tow the car, you can't send it to my workshop. Where have you sent the car to? So you are sent there before, then later on I'll go break towing car to come and tow the car to my workshop. It can't be possible. They should give the towing service number 2. Make it like how we make the police numbers 18-555. So if you get breakdown, you just call them.
The best thing about it is your cars need a funny solution. I bet me if you want them. Send a bear and cost any havoc be our coin so. And they say the best number say that's over for towing car. And I'll be free feet for no more in them. Mobile push us be pa. No, on my in 10 mamma will let me if you coin. Be hard, you're right. And I make medical can say a ban is Obepe ways and means be able to me at me if you coin so. Now, fit and ya be ye when you mamma. And as you obey, others will wait me pian baby. Now, Banny say, be I see a 2 SKB and son of my way. In case ye is not find say me Namako tree blow. Now, mechanical say what tree blow coins to see. May then not me now, my son of my bit to a mammy.
Those are some drivers talking about basically re-echoing the sentiments that a lot of people, lots of the members of the public have, indicated about the towing levy. Well, there are other reforms, of course, that are ongoing. Some of them have been held. That's the planned introduction of a smart driver's license, harmonization of vehicle documentation, among others. Well, don't take my word for it. Here are the drivers speaking themselves.
Well, to me, it can't be possible because the boss from this license office, they know something about them. They know something about the Golo boys. And they do the work together. So at the end of the day, the Golo boys give them the money. But they can't say it. The DVLA boss. So they know something about it. So they are for the Golo boys. If they're from the office there, if they don't give them a chance, they can't do anything. So why can't they apply maybe some security men without uniform to check them? You see? And secondly, the process of the license is too much. That's the main fact. The process of the license is too much.
The new license that they are talking about it, if they have prevented it, it's going to disturb
especially the drivers.
Disturb in which way?
See, because they will still maintain that, they will still do the fake licenses at the license office. I know them very well.
Okay, but you're saying that the new one that they're coming up with, it will be impossible for the goro boys to fake it.
Yes, they will still do the fake one. I understand what I'm saying. So what my idea is that they're supposed to make it in combine with the unions. I understand. If anybody qualifies as a driver, no, the authority for land service can inform the authorities here to bring them for some like education or training before they get the licenses. If not,
like I say, licenses in the fake in the as now you're Ghana in the meaning to me is a bit now. If you say any peduan, any agency a best son. Any pana your woman, any agency a best son. And do your day, so pomon yet goro box on my back, fake in a beba. If you say Nipana, yard, Nipana machine, yes, a sign. This is Nipana Sandia, or mine is to be to me as a son.
Waste of money. It's waste of money. And nobody can sack the Golo boys. Golo boys, they have link with their the officials. Nobody can change, nobody can sack these Golo boys. Because during the Kufu era, when the cars were yellow, 2001, they changed it to brown. Brown one, if you go to post office, they just take your particulars. 2 weeks or 1 month, you go and collect it at post office. You see, now you say eye test, examination, but that doesn't take much of education, your sense, your brain. You see, you have to get corridor.
All right, so obviously they're not for it. It appears that's how they sound. Well, let's have a quick conversation about this, shall we? In the studio with me this afternoon are officials from the DVLA. I have Musah, who's Director of Driver Training, Testing and Licensing with me. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Also here in the studio is Alex Osu Abebrese. He's the Deputy Director of IT at the DVLA. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be joined later by Head of Education, Research and Training, DSP Kweku Obeng, but then we can start our conversation in the studio. So it's good to have you this afternoon. Thank you for your time. Let me start by, let's look at the two big issues, the towing levy and the reforms at the DVLA. The towing levy has met a lot of criticism, it's met a lot of public outcry. What really has been the role of the DVLA in all of these?
Yeah, thank you very much. The towing levy, as was one of the regulations of the 2180, sought to ensure that every user of the road, particularly vehicle owners, will have some responsibility to ensure that the road is safe for other road users. And it was meant to bring some reform on the road that will allow the National Road Safety Commission, who is supposed to be the lead agency in managing road safety, to make sure that disabled vehicles are removed. Apart from disabled vehicles, you also have other sources or other things that might cause an accident on the road.
That has been a very long, ongoing debate.
Yes.
But the point is that, and we wouldn't want to go so much into that because at this point it's been suspended.
Yes.
So we'll just hold on and wait for how it goes. But then about making the roads safe and about removing vehicles on the road, we already know that the district and municipal assemblies have, they also have the mandate of taking care of that. But like I said, let's not go too much into that bit of it because it's been suspended. But what was the role of the DVLA in all of this? Just a part of the reforms that have been introduced?
The role of the DVLA was to collect the road towing levy as it was implemented.
All right.
And ensure that it is well accounted for the parties. That was the role of the DVLA.
That was the
the simple role of the DVLA.
The DVLA.
That as you come to make roadworthiness for your vehicles, there is a platform that the towing levy will be collected. That was the role of the DVLA.
So basically, people were, yours was just to collect the money.
Ours was just to collect the money.
Okay. Now that it's been suspended, what's DVLA's initial reaction?
Well, I'm sad, for example. I'm very sad because, frankly, because it's suspended, we aren't going to go into it. But I'm deeply sad. I have been one of those gentlemen who was at the beginning of the formation of this idea of towing, right down from 2004, when the Act 683 was implemented or came out. And then from the Act, we developed the LI 2180. It was in this LI 2180 that we said towing or road vehicles that are left on the road must be compulsorily towed off, and people should take responsibility for it.
Everybody else should take responsibility for it.
People. I am saying
yeah, I mean, like,
should take,
which is us, Ghanaians,
which is us
should
Ghanaians.
take responsibility.
We should take responsibility for it. Now, it is about a mode of implementation. That is where we have the difficulties.
Do you agree that there are problems, fundamental problems? With
Very fundamental.
Okay.
There are fundamental problems.
But then you're still sad.
I'm sad. I'm sad. The fundamental problems is not about the way it is. It's about probably the way people are thinking it should be implemented.
But so what are you sad about? Well, what are you sad about? About
I'm sad that
the suspension or about
I'm sad about the suspension.
Implementation?
I am sad about the negative publicity people are having on this. I'm sad about the arguments some people are making about this towing levy because they do not understand. If somebody is saddened, if your son or your relation has died in a road crash, then that is when you see the necessity for it.
But then you don't, those who are, you say bad publicity, but you're going to ask me, the people of Ghana, to pay. The people of Ghana need to understand why they should pay.
Exactly.
If you don't make the case enough for them to understand, especially when they feel that they're already paying taxes, which could take care
so
of this.
Probably, I think what had happened was that the communication strategy was just beginning to roll out and let people get to understand how this safety levy was supposed to be collected, the usefulness of the road safety, removing these vehicles from the road. The discussions had just started. And then some people rushed in and gave some other indications of America, of other places that other things are. Yes, I agree. But you see, every law is made to take account of these people. And the
people are saying they don't want to pay.
Well, the people are saying they don't want to pay because they have not been made to understand yet.
So you think that
it is about the education. Education was just starting. If they had time for education to go through, I think majority of the people will see the need for it and they will agree to pay. Probably people are saying they are not interested in paying because maybe the amount is high. We'll look at all those things. There is no project that you implement without having problems. So it's normal. It's democratic country. Everybody can express what he wants, you know. But the fact still remains that we must have something to remove disabled vehicles
from the road. And a lot of people have said, those who are saying they're not willing to pay have said that there are different ways that you could do this. Instead of taxing everybody else, let's just make it, put it in a way that you're able to tax those who are responsible for leaving their vehicles there.
Well,
and making people take responsibility for their actions rather than putting it on all of us as a country.
Probably because
this will be your final word on that.
Yes. So we will have time to talk about it.
Yes.
I will actually love to be in a group where people are expressing these opinions. I've as well traveled wide, you know, at school outside, and I've seen how best practices are done. I've gone to a lot of international conferences. I have seen how things have worked. So you start something, and hey, nothing is cast in stone.
So you
with time,
okay, all right.
Probably there could have been reforms.
Okay.
So they should have allowed this thing to start, and let's get on. And then later on, we can get reforms into it.
You believe that the people of Ghana have largely misunderstood
it's
this
not
initiative?
Some people of Ghana, the loudspeakers, is not majority of Ghanaians, I should say. But the loudspeakers have taken it out as if they are talking for the whole country. And I think that is not right.
And you think those people who are speaking out they largely misunderstand
They
these
largely
issues?
probably misunderstand the whole concept and project.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, now that we've spoken about towing levy, and like I'm saying, it's been suspended, the ministry perhaps will look into it so we can take it further, take that discussion further from there. But then we're also looking at reforms at the DVLA. DVLA, it touches a lot of hearts, you know, because there are lots of people who drive in this country. And so people will be interested in the reforms that you're looking to implement, of course, to make driving for all of us better and to make our roads better. Let's start with the is it e-license? Smart card. The smart license.
The smart card driver license.
Driver license. What's so special about it, and why should we, you know, move away from the old ones that we know?
Thank you very much. It's so special. It's special because it gives us some grounding in terms of technology to be able to do what the mandate of the authority wants us to do. And that is to ensure that only skillful people, qualified people can use the road. People with the appropriate knowledge can use the road. Now, if there were time, probably I'll give you a little background about, you know, how all those things started, you know, then probably people will begin now to see that, yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, but we can put it in a summary. Maybe we can bring in Mr. Abebrese here so that he can take us through, perhaps, because you are in charge of IT. Right. So you can perhaps take us through the special technological features, you know, which of course is what will make it different for all of us, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, over the years, people have complained that procedures and processes are cumbersome. And that's why they sometimes use the goro boys to get some services.
They are cumbersome, actually.
That is it.
Okay.
Maybe we accept that they are cumbersome.
Okay.
Then we decided to use technology to make it very simple. So this driver license that we are talking about, it's not only a matter of printing the license. There's a solution, a complete solution. There's a software that will enable people to apply for the service online.
Okay, great.
Okay, you can even pay later online using mobile money or Visa or MasterCard.
Okay.
But now, I mean, we are taking a step at a time.
Okay.
This time, you can apply for the service, generate an invoice, that tells you how much you have to pay. You proceed to a DVL office, you make payment. Everything is menu-driven. It's a step-by-step approach. You don't need anybody to help you.
You pay, when you go to the DVLA office and you pay to who? You pay to a human being?
Cashier on-site.
Okay.
It's on-site.
Okay.
You have EcoBank on-site. They'll collect the money.
One of the reasons why people have, you know, said that the system, the process is cumbersome and that you have to resort to goro boys is that sometimes it takes a lot of time, and then we're also looking to reduce human contact, because we believe that that is where the problem of corruption, etc., lies. If I'm going to go to DVLA and pay to a human being, isn't it pretty much the same?
Well, it's not really the same. It's not really the same. So, like I said, I'm saying that we will take it a step at a time.
A step at a time.
Now you have to pay on-site.
Okay.
Later, maybe during the course of the year, you can pay by mobile money or Visa or MasterCard.
Okay.
Before you come to the DVL office.
Okay.
Everything is software-based. Now you have to visit room 1, room 2, room 3.
Okay.
That is going to stop. You go to one room, they'll capture your fingerprint. You go and sit down and wait. Fingerprint, the photo and the signature, electronically captured. You sit down and wait. The rest of the process will be taken through by the system. For instance, Mr. Musah is supposed to approve. He will click your name, check it, and approve it.
Okay.
So we are trying to use technology to make the service delivery very, very simple. You don't need a guru boy to do this for you.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes they even think that we are trying to create some job for them. Why? Because they will buy themselves laptops. They'll sit behind the wall at, for instance, 37, and then apply these services online for their customers. They'll print the
goro boys.
Yeah.
Is this something that they're doing? This is something that
we tried some pilot project in 2014. That's what they tried to do.
So they'll get laptops and then they'll apply online.
They have dongles that can give them access to the internet, and that's what they're doing.
And you know, that will work because there are lots of people who are not computer literate. So they get there and they say, I can do this for you online. It will still work. In that case, we come back to square one. You have not been able to eliminate goro boys, just like the people said in the soundbites that we played.
No, that is not the issue.
Help me out, sir.
Yeah, let me help you out. You see, the reason why people want to use the Goro boys is because probably they didn't have alternatives to access the system before they even come there. So yes, you can't make everybody computer literate.
Okay.
So if, for example, in a room where you have 10 applicants, and out of the 10, 6 of them had already applied online before coming, they would have gotten invoices, they would have paid, like he did say in future, you can pay before you come.
Okay.
So by the time you come there, now the time waiting is going to reduce. So you are using effectively technology to be able to turn things around and make people wait less than you want. Now you're also creating, this time, you are creating jobs for people that are not actually imposing any kind of their wishes in the system, because they will not be able to interrogate the system and do anything that will remove revenue
so
from
in effect,
the system. So in fact, you are creating jobs for people.
So in effect,
you are also reducing time, because you can do 90% of the activities outside
online.
before you come.
So in effect, you are not removing the Goro boys. They are still there, except that they perhaps will not be able to create fake ones because it's online.
They are outside your premises. Now the thing is that the confusion that you get in many revenue agencies, like the ports and things like that, you have mass of people who are there, and now all these people are milling around, and for that reason, people probably sometimes even get confused. But if you are able to separate and make sure that those who are truly illiterate in the computer will have access to customer service within the yard, then you see that you have removed a whole group of people, and it makes things much easier and more disciplined in the room.
But
so
how
this
are
is
you,
what you can do.
How are you creating the linkage between customers and your customer service reps? Because that's what the picture you've created now. You have a customer on one side, you have customer service reps here. In between, you have Goro boys. How are you making it easy for people to bypass these Goro boys easily and go through?
So that's what we are saying, that the new system that we want to develop, that will come alongside with the smart card, is going to eliminate this. Right now, when you go, probably because people can use the network to do the processes before they come, you still have all these mailing. So what we are trying to do is that we're trying to say that when we are launching this new product, and the product probably, because the stress has been on the license card only, people did not probably appreciate all the new things that are coming. Because you can't change things within just by changing one thing.
Okay, give us a list of all the new things that you just mentioned. You said it's not just about the card. It's not just about the card.
Exactly.
It's not just about the license.
It's just not about the license only. So what we're going to do is that
a list of them.
So one, in terms of outcomes, we are changing the card. One.
Okay.
Secondly, we have changed the software that will enable very fast processing of the final products, like the testing, all those things that go inside, so that there's no time delay. Third, we're going to capture applicants just once in your lifetime. So once you come for a learner permit, you don't need to come again to be captured for, when you pass your exams.
Okay.
So we have reduced time. Fourthly, what we're going to do was that we're going to launch an application that you can download on your smart card, on your smartphone. And that one, you will be able to access DVLA, activities, services before you come. So take a lot of our students, who, and then the youth these days, everybody has got a smart card. So you'll be able to do smartphone. You'll be able to do everything before you come.
Before you go to DVLA.
Before you go to DVLA.
So you reduce the time.
That.
Okay.
Fifth, you will know how much you are going to pay before you come to our office. So if a Goro boy is saying that, oh, Charlie, give me 200 Ghana cedis, when your invoice is telling you you are paying 50 Ghana cedis,
then it becomes a matter of choice.
It becomes a matter of choice. If you are stupid enough to give it to him, fine, go ahead. Right?
I see. Okay, interesting. So when How far? You've spoken about all these reforms that you want to put together, basically looking at reducing the time within which people, operate or within the time that people spend to access your services, and then removing Goro boys, which of course is still up for debate. But how far?
Yeah. So
how soon should we expect
very soon.
this?
We haven't stopped. I mean, they've asked us to suspend introducing the smart card.
The toll,
this thing, because
the towing levy?
Not the towing levy.
The smart card has been suspended as well.
We have been told to hold on with the processes because it needs some further discussion. Indeed, the major problem was that people put in the media that the new smart card that is going to come, you are going to pay 450 Ghana cedis for it. Indeed, that is what the Goro boys collect from those people, before they print them a license.
What are the charges now, and how is it going to change?
So the charges, we have not come out with the charges.
At the moment, how much are people paying for the driver license?
The driver's license, you have stage 1 and 2, so there are differences. If you are coming as a new entrant, there are other charges that are there. So at the end of the day, you are paying 320 something.
Okay, Ms. Aribese, do you have that? Do you have that, the figure? So okay, you don't have it as well.
I don't have the figure, but
that's fair enough. So, but it's around 300.
It's under 400.
Okay.
The total, from beginning to end, you are paying under 400 Ghana cedis.
And so the expectation, and in this country, we know how things work. The expectation is that you go out there. I mean, if you introduce anything, it will come with an extra charge.
Yes. So, well, people are always proposing it will come with an extra charge.
What are the prices that you've worked with in your meetings? I'm sure it has come up.
There are a number of competitions we are looking at, because you see,
give us a range.
Well, I can't give you a range because
that should be possible.
No. We have asked a consultant to take all these things and go and put it into a price model, and then also he's supposed to look at the average in the sub-region. All right, so that at the end of the day, we have something to tell Ghanaians that we didn't just get up and put a price there.
So
but it was scientific. Very, very soon. Very soon.
Very soon is not good enough.
Very soon.
Very soon is not good enough,
yeah,
Alaji.
That's okay.
Give us a range.
Next time I'm coming to the studio, I'll be able to tell you how it's going to be. But I'm just telling you
that would depend on when. That would depend on when next we'll call you.
Have already told you that the price is going to be less than the 450 people have mentioned in the media, and that is the Goro boys' price. That is not our price. It shall not be anywhere near that. Okay. Now the other thing is, let me just. This is just for the new drivers, new beginners, people who are coming the first time. But if you've already got a license and you are coming to replace the license, you are paying under 1,100,000 Ghana cedis. Under 100 Ghana cedis. That is what you pay now.
Under 100
so where on earth?
But should people have paid? Should people have paid in the first place? I already have my card. You say you want to upgrade it. Upgrade it. Give me a new card.
Sure, definitely.
Don't let me pay anything.
Well, I think you have bank charges, right? You have bank charges.
There are bank charges,
there are bank charges. So definitely when there is technology, when there is something new, by all means, there is always a little bit top up. So we aren't saying that there's not going to be a top up.
A little bit top up will be like, let's say 10 or 20 cities, but when you're talking 100 city range.
No, I'm not saying 100 cities range. I'm saying
below
that
100 cities.
Yes, I'm saying that when you are going to replace your driver's license right now, it costs you below 100 Ghana cedis. So there is going to be a small top up because, look, the card we have given to you is top of the range card in the whole world.
I see.
And I can promise you that. And I'm also telling you that there is a chip inside that has the foundation to be connected to many other cards in this country. Who doesn't want this? That one day you can use your driver's license to vote. One day you can use your driver's license to withdraw money from your bank. One day you can use your driver's license as a passport.
Is that the focus?
That's the focus. That is the focus. That's internationally everywhere. If you go to some countries right now, you have your driver's license, you don't even need any other ID.
Mr. Aribese, let's talk about briefly, and we're wrapping up this conversation. If you're just tuning in, this is the Pulse. We're talking about reforms at the DVLA, and just so you know, there has been this big issue about towing levy, of course, which is perhaps going to sleep, because it's been suspended. It will resurrect again, I'm sure. And then from there, we'll take on that conversation. But right now, we're talking about generally the reforms at the DVLA. I have here in the studio Mr. Musah, who's Director of Driver Training, Testing and Licensing, and Alex Osu Abebrese, who's Deputy Director of IT. We've been talking a range of issues. The towing levy, we've spoken about it. We've also spoken about especially the new license card that they're looking to bring in. Mr. Abebrese, this morning there has been a conversation about data protection. The DVLA people put in a lot of their information. Since you're head of IT, I'd like for you to assure the people of Ghana the level of security. If I'm talking about coming to put in my data, my details, etc., what's the level of security that those data will be protected?
Okay, thank you very much. So as part of the IT infrastructure, before we didn't even have a data center. Now we have in-house. So all the data that we process nationwide are stored centrally at the head office.
Okay.
And that is why now we can even print licenses within a few days. So as they process the applicants, the data is hitting the database instantly. So as part of that, we have firewalls and cybersecurity system that we have put on top of the infrastructure to protect access to data from people from outside. Okay, I remember before we did this, there was a test that we conducted, and there was this person in China trying to knock on our door, like hello, hello, trying to enter. We found it, but we blocked everything. So the data, yes, is protected. Nobody can access it from outside.
From outside?
Even within, we still have levels.
Okay.
Who can see what about who and all that.
So you're able to detect, you're able to detect some kind of hacking from China?
Or if they try, well, we can't say that it's 100%. But you know, in the US, they develop all these firewall solutions.
Yeah.
They still get their system hacked into.
Okay.
Your people sit there and all day, that's what they are trying to do. They will knock on your door.
Trying to knock on
your door all
in
the
your
time
words.
to see if there's a loop, then they can enter.
Then they can enter.
But we'll do our best to protect the data as much as we can.
If that happens, what are the measures that you have, laid out to counter it?
So we have backup systems. It's being hosted. I don't want to mention the name.
Okay.
But it's being hosted. So everything that we do at the production site, a copy of the data is sent to the backup. So if something happens at the head office, we can switch to the backup and make sure that business is carried out.
It's business as usual.
Yes,
I see.
Right.
Mr. Rena, let me take your final words on this discussion. I've been trying to get you to give us a timing, within which we should expect our expectations to end, so that we have the real thing. You keep telling me that very soon. Very soon for me is not good enough. But let me take your final words.
Okay. Thank you very much. We want to assure our population that the authority with that mandate will not do anything untoward to further place any hardship on any person. As we sit here, we all come from the rural communities. We understand our people need the best of services at very economical prices. Exactly, that is what we are going to do. On top of that, we want to give them top of the range driving license in this country. Know that Ghana is a leader when it comes to Africa. And all that we do, the world looks at us. And if you have a license that has all the security features that the international community understands that that document cannot be faked, it further enhances our position in the world. Like, you have a document that they can trust in. So when Ghanaians travel outside, conversion as per the Geneva Convention of 1968, Ghanaians will be given upper chance, upper class. Otherwise, then it will be that we aren't sure your license is good enough, we aren't sure whether you were tested, we aren't sure you have the necessary skills and so forth. But this is the license that we trust, and we know that for the next decades, Ghanaians have a document they can rely on.
So all of these reforms have been put on hold. Is that correct at the moment?
No, not all of them have been put on hold. We are still developing our processes to ensure that when we then launch, processes will run very smoothly. And then I don't expect any new applicant coming for a driver's license to appear in the DVLA more than 3 times.
Okay, so what I'm seeking to know is have as a final word on all of this. Let's put it all together. Is some parts of your reforms have been put on hold.
Some parts
that
of our
includes
reforms. That includes
the towing levy.
No, that is not our reform. That is national road safety reform.
Okay.
So our reform.
But you are going to collect it. So it means that the processes to collect that has been put on hold at the DVLA.
Exactly. The processes have not been put on hold on DVLA. What they were going to do is that they were going to use our collection system. We have already developed it. It is just launching it when the process begins. So we have already developed it. It's not a problem with DVLA. It's not something that we need to think again.
But that is on
hold. If it is starting tomorrow next, we just launch the system.
But that is on hold at the moment.
Now, also on hold is the driver license card.
Okay.
I mean, launching the new driver smart card.
Okay.
It's on hold. But all other processes that we want.
What are the other processes?
Now, the other processes is the reviewing how people can conduct businesses in DVLA, the service time and so forth, the software development aspect of it, also the payment structure and all those things. All those processes, review of all those processes are ongoing, so that when we launch, then we take off, everything goes on. We will even launch some of these before the card comes.
But
so those processes are not on hold.
So the ones that are on hold, are they the reason why you cannot give us a date for when you're launching?
No, we aren't able to give you a date because we were told to hold on with the launch so that people can have further discussions on the cost of the card, on the cost and not the product. It is about the cost. So we are coming out scientifically how we arrive at a cost, and we are taking all manners of opinions into consideration.
All right, I'll say a very big thanks to you both gentlemen for coming to the studio. This is The Pulse. We've been doing DVLA reforms. Of course, I've been talking to Mr. Musah, who's director, driver training, testing, and licensing. Sounds like a big post. You're a big man, aren't you? And also here was Mr. Alex Owusu Abebrese, who's deputy director of IT. Thank you very much once again for coming.